If the shop is quiet and empty, that doesn't mean we shouldn't look around carefully. Maybe we can find some components as you can see, and if we gather them, we might be able to build a PC. And to make sure nothing was missing, we placed all the parts next to the PC, so nothing turns out to be missing in the end, as can you see. And if you noticed that the power supply is missing from the device, so it's supposed to be just in one place, so we went to Uncle-Gad and told him there was a power supply that you had been repairing for 2 years. So he replied to Ahmed and said, alright, go now and take care. So he immediately gave him a hard look and started to stare. So Uncle-Gad immediately turned around and brought him the broken power supply, but Ahmed just stood there and didn't reply. So he took the power supply again and said, give me 5 minutes, then come back until you grab a quick snack. And as soon as we finished the power supply, we installed it on the motherboard and we connect the power, and as you can see, the system starting displaying an image on the screen. And with that, we made sure that the power supply has no issues at all. Now let's move on to the motherboard that hasn't worked for 2 years at all. And after we cleaned it, we connect the power cable and turn on the PC, and as you can see, nothing happens, like we didn't do anything at all. And here my memory started to coming back, and I remembered what's happened 2 years ago. And after we replaced the power supply with another one, we connect the power cable and turn on the PC, and finally it's working and start displaying an image on the screen. But after leaving the power supply for a long time, I actually forget that I had fixed it, and the device just sat there forgetting for a long time. And when I tried it about a year ago, I discovered another new issue in the motherboard that started to show. And the good news is that we now have a used power supply ready for sale. As for the bad news, we are going to say goodbye to the Dell device we have, and the reason is simple: devices for sale should not have any issues or even any previous repair, so all we can do is keeping the motherboard in case we need any spare parts from it later. And we have got the perfect spot for the dead motherboard, so we can come back anytime and easily grab any spare parts we need, all kinds and shapes, some old that have reached the end of their life, and some new that never even got the chance to work, some that got burned, and some had water spoiled on them, and some were literally smoking. And we reached the end of the video, and I hope you learned something useful. This was your brother Gad, and see you in the next video.